At KVGC News Time, 7 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Time for a look at the news for a Monday. It's the 18th day of December for 2017. A Valley Springs man is facing life in prison on federal drug charges. According to U.S. Attorney Philip A. Talbot, a federal grand jury returned a 3-count indictment on Thursday against Glenn Waltman of Valley Springs, charging him with possessing methamphetamine and marijuana with intent to distribute and possessing a firearm as a felon. According to court documents, on November 28th of 2017, law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle Waltman was driving in the town of Anderson and found approximately 1.5 pounds of crystal methamphetamine, 13 pounds of marijuana, and a loaded .40 caliber pistol. As a previously convicted felon, Waltman is prohibited from possessing a firearm. This case is the product of an investigation by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration and Shasta County law enforcement. If convicted of the methamphetamine charge, Waltman faces a mandatory minimum penalty of 20 years in prison and a maximum penalty of life in prison and a $20 million fine. If convicted of the marijuana or firearms charges, Waltman faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. Any sentence, however, would be determined at the discretion of the court and the federal sentencing guidelines.
Well, AAA reports the holiday travel season has officially begun. Looks like Californians will end 2017 with some much-needed relief at the pump as an early Christmas present. According to a survey commissioned by AAA this month, more than one-third, 34% of Californians say they'll travel between Saturday, December 23rd, and Monday, January 1st. Now, more than 80% of respondents say they'll visit family, with about 11% saying they're planning to spend time outdoors. The good news, gas prices have dropped an average of 12 cents across the state since November. That's due to several factors, including decreased travel demand after the busiest Thanksgiving in a decade. Now, more gas stations also selling the Winter Blend gasoline, which is less refined and cheaper to produce.
And health officials with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta say the flu is spreading across the nation, with dozens of states, including California, now reporting widespread flu cases just ahead of the holiday season. The CDC says other states reporting widespread cases of the flu are Arkansas, Connecticut, Louisiana, Ohio, New York, and Wisconsin. Dr. Rita Kerr, Amador County Health Officer, says this year's flu season is likely to be a rough one. One reason is that more than 90% of the influenza specimens tested nationwide are influenza A, which bring typically higher rates of hospitalization and deaths in the seasons when it's the dominant strain. For more on prevention measures, visit the Amador or Calaveras County Health Department website.
The Calaveras Unified School District Board of Trustees voted 4-1 last week to give his superintendent, Mark Campbell, a pay increase of close to $6,000 for the remainder of his contract. Now, Campbell's annual salary jumps from $142,663 to $150,460. Now, the contract expects Campbell to be on the job for a period of 211 days each year. Includes 30 vacation days each year. The agreement remains in effect. Now, any additional work days will be compensated for if the board deems those additional days necessary. The contract also includes a $500 monthly expense budget through a district credit card and $50,000 group term life insurance policy. The increase comes just a few months after both the district classified and certified staff members received pay increases of 2% and 4%, respectively, approved after a 4-day district-wide teacher strike back in October. Campbell's pay increase is about 5.5%. Campbell originally appointed to the superintendent position in 2010.
And as some of the largest wildfires in California's history continue to leave their marks across the southern part of the state, utility companies are getting new orders to do more about maintaining power lines. Late last week, the state's Public Utility Commission unanimously voted to toughen its rules that already require power companies to keep trees and brush away from power lines in high fire risk areas. Under new mandates, utilities will also have to increase their use of proactive patrols in order to make timely identification of and troubleshoot potential fire risks. The action, which officials call a major rewriting of existing fire prevention requirements for utilities, comes as fire investigators look into the current major fire incidents in the southern part of the state.
And make this holiday season magical for a less fortunate child or teen in our community. CHP invites you to support their annual Chips for Kids toy drive now through Thursday, December 21st. The public encouraged to bring a new unwrapped toy to the Amador CHP office on Clinton Road in Jackson. With the holiday season upon us, CHP wants to do their part to ensure all the children of Amador County have a memorable Christmas. Amador Area Commander Todd Brown says the hope is to help as many families as possible this holiday season. The donated toys will be delivered to local families in need.
And that's a look at local news on this Gold Country Monday morning. From the KVGC News Center,
I'm JD.
And I'm Jim Geedy reporting.